Alright, so let's try this again. So here's the start screen of my game. To create a server, you will hit A on the server computer. To join a server, you hit B on the server computer. After that, you will drop into this screen, which is exactly the same, except it drops the little A to create server, B to join session at the bottom. And this is the lobby. To go from the lobby into the game, you hit enter on both computers, and into the game you go. To control the ships, I just left the WASD So one problem I do have with my game is I have the physics running on both computers. I'm not sending if there's a collision, which I really need to do, but I'm kind of out of time, so I can't exactly do that. But because of all those things, the games will get out of sync, causing issues with them being with the ships being in the place, particularly if you hit the original, if you run into any of the walls or the other player. So, I mean, the game does obviously loop back into the original, into the lobby screen. Once one person wins, and then to go back into the game, you just hit enter. One of the problems, though, is if the player is essentially both players end up having to win. I have that problem with them getting out of sync, and that happens because while this server computer gets 8 kills, which would be 2 wins, it's going to jump back into the lobby. But if the 2 computers got out of sync, which they did, the other computer will not make it out of the game because no one ever won. And if the server computer, since the computer that wins is always first, is going to be one of the local computers, that means that the game either needs to be restarted completely, or the other person has to go through and catch up on wins, or catch up on kills, unless they were unless they were essentially playing off the other computer. But so once both games have gotten back into the lobby state, which is what this is, you'll just hit enter and go back in again. I have one message type, and all it does, and it has 2 enums within it, one for message type and one for message. For the location the message is being sent from, either the server or the client. So the type enum is used in the execute statement. It's a switch statement. An execute function, it has a switch statement that will then go through and find, okay, you're a right turn, so turn right, you're a left turn, turn right. And it does that by calling a function that I made in both of the ship class, to make it more data driven, and basically it will send which location it's from. Either the server or the client. The client is always player 1, the server is always player 1, the client is always player 2, and from there we'll find which ship to use. You can shoot missiles, create bombs. I did that in wrong order. I didn't do prediction at all because without having the physics running on one game and stuff, or on one system, and then the second one just being a simulation of it, it doesn't work that way. There are more pressing things to get done But so that's basically where it is. The lobby, obviously, as you saw, you just send once both players have joined, both of them hit enter, and it sends a server or client message ready based on which computer hit enter. Once both the server and client bools are ready or true, it changes the game state to the game and you jump into the game. When one person finishes, they go back into the lobby. The game state changes to the lobby, which stops checking for inputs, which is because that's why both computers have to win. The networking is the output queue serializes them all into the packet writer and dequeues the message, serializes it into the packet writer, and sends it over the wire. The input queue reads the incoming data, deserializes it into messages, and enqueues those into the input queue, and then executes all of them. At one point I had a problem where I not realizing that with how I was reading from the packet reader, it would get it for every player. Every player would receive the messages that were sent. I was dequeuing directly from the output queue into the input queue also for the local machine, so that it would get the messages and actually do things locally. So that was a problem that was causing the synchronization problem to be even worse. But I fixed that. The other major problem I had was I, for a while, couldn't get input on multiple inputs, so I couldn't turn and go straight or turn and move at the same time. I could either turn or move, aside from any drifting that was going on, but I couldn't send two different message types at the same time, and that's because I was not creating a new message each time I would deserialize it and enqueue it, so it would just change the one that it was referencing earlier. But so once I changed that and made a new message and then added the data, and then once I deserialized the data into that, I was fine. In the new message, I was fine. It would get both of the messages and be fine from there. But so that's my game. I really should have started earlier than I did. It ended up causing me problems and keeping me from really finishing it completely. I mean, I got quite a bit of it done. There's some stuff that I would like to do more on, but I waited too long, and that's my own fault. So here it is. It was a really fun class. I really enjoyed it. I do really wish I'd started earlier, though. It would have made the last couple of weeks a whole hell of a lot easier. But other than that, thanks for teaching me, Ed, and I will see you in Global.